Meet Your Weirdlings. This is Hadley, and joining me tonight is Big Mike, Mr. Alan Gamboa, our very own secret agent man, Mr. Scott Baker, and filling in for Rich Restucci is Morgana Calder. You might recognize Morgana from the Weird Realities, Weird Inc. interviews, and our Weird Awakening roundtable discussions. Hey guys, it's good to be back. How are y'all doing?
Good. How about
Good.
you?
Good. Good to be here.
I miss these Thursday nights.
Me too.
Yes, I miss them on Friday mornings at work. That's how
She's
I
one of
feel
our
on Monday.
fans.
That's right.
So, how's it going? Did y'all all have a good holiday?
Yes. Christmas was good. New Year's was weird because, like, two parts of the family, all three parts of the family wound up coming down with COVID.
Oh.
Yeah, I think COVID tried to take the Weird Realities team out.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
And the funny thing is, like, my mother-in-law and me are the only two in all the families that didn't catch anything.
So why do you think that is? What is your magic, Scott Baker?
I think my mother-in-law, she already had COVID in May, so I think she's got regular immunity. And for me, it's all the whiskey, the cigars, the junk food. No self-respecting virus would live in me.
Well, come on, you know you're drinking your own urine.
That's why it tastes familiar. My wife tells me it's whiskey.
Well, hey, Mr. Cecil Fletcher, how are you doing?
Hey, Cecil.
Well, tonight we were going to talk about apocalypse movies. So we kind of have a wild card since Rich was unable to be here, and Morgana has introduced a new one. So, Alan, do you want to take over and let everybody know what movies we're watching?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
good.
Okay, I'm plugged because we're getting an echo. I don't know if it's my headset or not. So.
I think it's Morgana. Are you using your computer microphone?
No, I'm not.
Huh. I don't know what it is then.
I'm getting echo on my end, but not
That means,
when I listen to the three of you, so don't worry about it.
okay. Well, let me introduce tonight's movies. Originally the show was planned to be a New Year's show, and the way things are going, we thought we'd do the end of the world, and so we picked some post-apocalyptic movies.
Hey,
I picked Bloody
Lando.
Heroes. Scott picked Road Warrior. Hey, Landa.
Hi,
Allie
Landa.
picked Domestics. And Morgana picked one of my favorites, Priest. Actually, these are all good movies, I think. So we're going to go with the end of the world, and then from there, the next show we'll pick up on Frozen.
But we heard you.
Oh, you're great. I'm glad you cussed.
Oh, see, I thought you
I
meant
saw
you were
that.
going to watch Frozen movies.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm out. That's it. My niece and nephew loved that movie. Every time I went over, I had to hear it 3 times.
So we can, we can do a Frozen show. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah, they do. They do need to beat them. We'll see, man. Hadley loved to do a Frozen show. She told me that.
Yeah.
That and a Richard Thomas show.
Yep.
So
2 of my favorites.
look for those on the horizon. I sent you a link to a book that he wrote. I didn't know he wrote a book. He's written a couple books.
What did John Boy have to say?
Apparently he's good. I don't know. But so let's start our tour on this apocalyptic journey. Anybody want to go first? Morgana.
All right.
Morgana, you go.
Okay, I'm going to go. All right, so my movie is Priest. Post-apocalyptic world. It was loosely based, I think, on a comic.
Yes.
It stars Paul Bettany. He is part of the Priest group that goes out, and they have basically taken out most of the vampires in the world. And so once they've done this, they kind of go into obscurity. You know, the government doesn't want them around anymore, so they just kind of disappear. And then he finds out a little bit later on that his niece has been kidnapped out in the, like, what would you call it? Like the wastelands, sort of, kind of. And she's been kidnapped by vampires, and they've killed his brother and sister-in-law. So he decides to take his priestly self out and find his niece. And of course, the government doesn't want him to do this because they're supposed to be disbanded, and they send out a group to stop him from doing anything. So, you know, without giving a whole lot away, you know, he ends up, a couple of the other priests ends up killed, and he finds out that, you know, the one behind the kidnapping is actually someone he knows, someone that he thought was dead. And, you know, it was an interesting play. I mean, you know, I had not seen anything apocalyptic or vampire kind of made like this one before. So I think that's why, you know, it's always stuck with me. I mean, I've got it on DVD, I've got it on my DVR, so it's kind of like one of my go-to movies when I don't have anything else going on. Oh shoot, there's something else. All right, I'm just gonna leave it there at the moment. I'm new to this.
You're doing great.
Okay, awesome. But like I said, you know, it's got vampires, it's got familiars. You know, they're a little bit different than your run-of-the-mill vampires and stuff. And like I said, you know, with that post-apocalyptic feel to it and everything, that also adds a little bit more to it being, you know, not the run-of-the-mill, you know, we're going to drink your blood and turn you and all that good stuff.
Right. I like the animation part at the beginning where it shows the progression of the vampires and the church getting involved and all that. I thought that's pretty slick.
Yeah. It almost comes off not as good as, okay, one of my favorite movies, strictly because to me this is what a graphic novel looks like, was Sin City, just the way that they handled that. But this one, I think they did a really good job in giving it that graphic novel feel too. You know, because like I said, you know, it's that grunginess and all of that just kind of makes it stand out.
Hey, Laura. Yeah, and this one had a bunch of great actors in it.
Oh yeah, it's Carl Urban.
Yeah, Carl Urban.
I think Christopher Plummer was in it, if I'm not mistaken.
Lily Collins, Phil Collins' daughter, is the niece.
That's right.
Vampire Bill from True Blood was on it.
Yeah.
You know, was not a vampire, but he was in it.
Maggie Q. Maggie Q playing Maggie Q. She's got cast as the action hero now. We just saw a movie with her in it the other night. That was called Protege. That was actually pretty good. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. If you like those action movies, you know, it's produced by the guys that did John Wick. So it's got that kind of, and Sam Jackson plays a really good role. You really like his character, you know, but we're talking about Priest.
Yeah. So I mean, it did. It had, the people in it, and everybody did a really good job, because a lot of them, it's not their normal, type of movie and everything. I mean, when I think of Paul Bettany, I always think of the Knight's Tale. Yeah. As Chaucer. So, and like I said, this totally different character and everything. And I like Carl Urban too.
Yeah.
So, but
I love the movie. When I first sat down to watch it, I was thinking to myself, this isn't going to be good. But it was such a perfect blend of post-apocalypse, dystopian, action, and Western.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
And by the end of the movie, and then especially when you started to find out that, the priesthood is talking about how all the vampires are eradicated, you're finding out,
not so much.
Yeah.
Not so much.
I want to see the prequel.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
The cartoon at the front, I mean, I want to see that movie.
Yeah.
But it was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
I'm surprised they haven't made a prequel.
I know. It's one of those good ones that they just kind of let fall away.
Yeah, I think this movie got a following afterwards because it made about 20 million over its budget. So it wasn't it was, I guess, a sleeper is what you want to call it. It's a sleeper movie.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a big hit, but I could
Right.
see them making like you said, a prequel, because I know after it came out and everything, it's, picked up a following.
Well, and I don't even remember it being in the theater. It was one of those I just happened to run across and said, that looks good. And yeah, like I said, I mean, just fell in love with it because, like I said, it is one of my go-to movies.
I
And
think it came out around the same time as the Sam Neill Daywalkers. It was the movie about the vampires had blown through in humans, and now there was nobody left to eat. And that movie did much better theatrically.
Wow.
Because I think I did see Priest in the movie theater.
Yeah, I did too. My wife loves this movie.
Yeah.
What's not to love? You got Paul Bettany, you got Carl Urban, and you got Maggie Q in leather. I mean, riding motorcycles, being badasses.
Really happy. Now, all you would have needed was Alexander Skarsgård without a shirt.
Right.
yeah. He can't be everywhere. So we got Vampire Bill.
Yeah.
And he never said "sucky," and he did through the whole thing. So, but
he didn't last long in this movie either. So
no, he did not.
Oh, and then you have Cam Gignet. Is that how you say his name? Daybreakers, yeah. Cam Gignet, is that the guy that plays the sheriff or the deputy or whatever?
That falls in love with his niece.
Right. Now, wasn't he in the Twilight movies, or am I wrong?
He was in the Twilight movies.
So there you go.
Good catch there, Alan. I didn't know you were a fan.
I've never seen one, but I just knew. Should I say what's worse, a fan of Twilight, or that I know Cam Gignet was in there? I don't.
A fan of Twilight's like eighth circle of hell.
I'm going to tell you. I've got a really good friend that she will tell you there, and she probably owns 1,000 movies. She's that person. She can tell you the name of the episodes from like all the Buffy TV shows. I mean, she's just that person. But she always commented that there's a difference between a good movie and an entertaining movie.
Yeah.
And she drugged me to the opening of the Twilight movies. And I'm still not a fan.
Well, I'm one of those people that if it is in my genre, I will watch it because it's in the genre, and I give everything a chance. Because you never know what you're going to like. If I had looked at the cover of Evil Dead 2, I never would have picked it up at the DVD store.
Right.
But I did because Evil Dead. And it turned out to be my favorite movie. It's one of my favorites.
Let's face it, Twilight is nothing more than a woman's choice between bestiality and necrophilia.
That's in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I'd like to argue with you about that, but I just have nothing.
Well, you did good, Morgana. That was good for your.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for an hour's notice.
Yes.
Right? So what do we give this? What do we give this movie?
4.7.
A what? A 5.7?
She 4.7.
4.7. That was very high.
Hadley?
I'm going to go with a 4 because of the leather.
If one of Alan, if you or I had said that, we'd be considered sexist.
Right? Right.
I would give it a 4.
I'd give it a 4 too.
Like Morgana said, it's not a good movie, but it is an entertaining movie. It is just fun.
Yep.
Yeah. It is. It is
exactly what it is. Yeah.
And I think it was in 3D? Was it in 3D?
I don't think so.
Don't think so? Okay. I know there's an extended cut.
I didn't see it at the theater, so I don't know. It wasn't at home.
Yeah, I was just trying to recall. All right. Well, Hadley, let's ladies first, right?
Okay,
Since we're talking, let's go with the domestics.
All right. Well, The Domestics looks really good on paper, but it kind of fell flat. It is a movie where the apocalypse has happened. It starts off with a married couple in a post-apocalyptic world, and they're going to make a 200-mile car journey to her parents because they're having marital problems. Not really sure there, but across the way, they're meeting this bunch of different vicious gangs that have popped up from the survivors. And you've got these groups that they're gamblers, and then there's some that are like, I guess they're kind of like pinhead. They're doing nail stuff, and then you have the plow boys who are like the farmers, I guess, and sheets, and they're the ones who wear the sheets. And it's very, very Mad Max versus the Warriors.
Yeah.
So I really like the premise of the film. I felt like the acting, the two main characters had absolutely no chemistry.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge fan of Kate Bosworth anyway, because I just kind of feel like she's cold and flat as an actress. But it was it had some really badass parts. The women, like the badass girl gang in it was the Cherries, and I really would have liked to see more of that because there was a very interesting like side theme with that.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't get Maggie Q for that part.
The girl that did well though.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting. In hindsight, I wish I had picked a different movie. But I mean, it was what it was. We wanted to do apocalypse, and this was a good modern apocalypse. It was watchable, but I felt like it was disappointing. I would say on a scale, I would probably give it a 2.
Wow.
What did y'all think?
I like this movie. I thought it had, like you said, it was a good premise. What I think is there should have been more. It kind of leaves you wanting more.
Yes.
You know, the actors aren't great in it. I feel sorry for the husband because he goes through all that crap, you know, and she's like, what are you doing? You know, and this guy just fought off 2 guys to get in, you know, and get back to her. I think if they expanded it out, it would have been a better movie. It just seemed like there was something more that needed to be there.
In the apocalypse, you don't need to be focusing on the breakup of your marriage. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Well, they're dedicated, right?
Well, I'll say this. I mean, he was committed to that relationship. I would have left.
Yeah. He was. That guy went through a lot of crap, you know.
And I think that's why I didn't like it, was because I just really didn't like the female character, and they focused on that so much that there was so much that they missed that they could have fixated on, and it really would have been better. The best scene, hands down, I think, was the Russian roulette scene. That was gruesome. Oh, yeah. It was good. It was intense. Mm. I liked that. But
I thought there was a lot of imagination in the settings and the weird ass gangs.
The breakdown of the gangs was good.
So I think that's what sold it for me. I didn't care for the main characters that much, but I liked the landscape they put down.
I didn't care for the main characters. I thought the gangs were too stereotypical.
Well, yeah.
You know, like Hadley said, they were more like the Warriors than. And I mean, if this was a post-apocalypse, completely devastated landscape, like the Book of Job or something, maybe. But it was almost like an EMP or something. It was almost like an EMP or something had taken place, and they didn't really, to me, fit into the environment. The only one that I remember that stands out that I thought was the best scenes of all were the ones with Lance Reddick, the cannibal.
Yeah. That was good. That was tense.
That was, I mean, you're thinking this guy is normal, this guy's cool, this guy's great. It's like, so did you like it? It was a human.
Yeah, that was a good part. And Lance Reddick. It's always great to see Lance Reddick. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen a role he's not good in.
And if you guys don't know who he is out there, Lance Reddick
You'll recognize
plays
him.
the concierge in the John Wick movies.
Mhm.
Bosch, he's the police chief in Bosch. Great actor. Yeah,
And he was a scene stealer.
yeah, he was, and he walks like he's carrying the biggest stick in the room. You know,
Yeah.
he always walks like like he doesn't give a crap about anything. He's the man.
There was a TV series a couple of years ago about an outbreak in a city. They had to isolate the city. And I think
remember
he
that.
was and he was the military general. And
That's right.
he was fantastic in that. I wish I could think of the name of it.
Wasn't it like Atlanta?
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
It was like
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah.
I never finished it, but it was what I saw.
Oh,
was
it's good.
The breakdown of how people act and stuff is
Yeah.
great.
It's almost like real life today.
Yeah. Right? Holy crap! Well, what do you think, Morgan? Did you watch this movie, Morgan?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
God,
but I'll
I'm
watch
sorry.
it now.
It's
Is it
it's
worth
worth
watching?
one watch. Worth
Okay.
one watch, I think. What do you?
Okay.
What do you two think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's worth watching. I mean, I rented it. I was excited about it. But it just fell flat. It just, y'all know I'm a big character development person, and it just didn't go there for me.
Well, why would you take this crappy ass car that they have across dangerous lines, enemy lines, what's out there. They know, they even talk about it before they go. And, it's like they take this Vega that's breaking down, I don't know what it is, but it's a crappy ass car. And, you think you'd want to armor your vehicle up, make sure it's not going to break down, but they're just like, they're going on vacation with did they even have a gun on them?
I
I don't think they did.
So
I don't think they did.
And they didn't even know if her parents were alive or not.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but she was determined because she was ready to leave him. I mean, it's worth watching, and when you do, we will talk about it because I have to complain about her.
Well, when they get to the folks' house, they have one hell of an HOA.
Now, in hindsight, once I started watching this, I realized what I should have picked was The Bad Batch.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't
If
heard
you
of it.
haven't seen The Bad Batch,
Oh, I know why you watched it. Yeah, okay, never mind.
no, trust me, Alan, watch it.
I will.
And-
He's single now, Hadley.
What?
The Bad Batch, and who's in it?
Jason
Aquaman.
Momoa. But he's kind of not even the. Just trust me. When you watch it, we'll have to have a talk about it because it's really a good movie.
Isn't
It's
Keanu
really-
Reeves in that one too?
Is he? Yeah, he is.
Yes. Yeah,
It is one of those it's going to be a cult classic.
okay.
It's gonna have a following because it's really good.
We ought to do a cult classic show, throw that on there and some of these other flicks.
Cool.
Maybe even Rich could do Damnation Alley then,
Yeah.
because that's kind of a cult movie.
That's a great movie.
I saw that when I was a teenager. I loved it.
Yeah.
Here's trivia about Damnation Alley. Is they thought it was going to be the next. Fox made it, and they made Star Wars 2, and they came out right after one after another, and they thought Damnation Alley was going to be the shit. They guessed wrong. Anyway,
Well, one thing about Damnation, we're going to talk trivia. There's a second version of it that no one has seen.
Oh,
yeah, there was.
Okay. I was
It was the one that they made for NBC because the day after was going to be run. The nuclear war movie, so they wanted to get in on it. And they edited out a lot of the gorier scenes, like the cockroaches eating Paul Winfield. And then to make room, because they cut out those scenes, to fill it up, they added scenes between the main character and the female character that were cut from the original movie.
Oh, okay.
So there's a different version out there, but nobody ever recorded it. So
is that the where they cut out the William Dafoe scenes? That's her Cecil. They should have left him in Damnation Alley. Would have been a big hit. Anyway, I guess we leave this stuff up to Rich because I mean I'm a big fan of this movie and I love it. I don't know.
I'm sure that we'll do something similar soon.
Yeah. So the domestics, what are we the three of us gonna give it? Hadley, that's your movie.
I'm a 2. I just couldn't get behind it.
Scott?
2.
I'd give it a 3. There was something about it I liked. I didn't like the main characters. I just liked, I guess, the landscape. And the gangs were outrageous and outlandish and, kind of stereotypical, like Scott said. But I think it's worth a watch. Let us know what you think if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, let us know. Anything. So how about we go to a classic right now, Scott?
All right.
Okay.
Johnny Holmes or John Holmes?
I don't even want to talk about this.
I got an antidote. For that. I worked with a guy that had worked at Folsom Prison when John Holmes was there, and he knocked John Holmes out. There was an alarm, and John Holmes wouldn't get down, and they were running to it, and he just kind of clotheslined him.
Okay, I think we're talking a different John Holmes.
No, John Holmes went to prison.
Yeah, really?
There's some kind of murder mystery around him, isn't it?
Yeah, he was involved in murder. I don't know what he had to do with it, but he was involved with a murder.
We're talking the porn star.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there's a whole deal. It was, I think it's cocaine or house robbery, something.
Wow.
Yeah.
I came across it recently. So, that's Bethany.
Hi, Beth.
Hey, Bethany.
We're talking about apocalypse movies because we're in year 3 of the pandemic apocalypse.
And we've gone a little sideways.
As always.
That's what we always do.
Thank you.
We went from apocalyptic movies to porn stars in prison. Hey, that should be our next topic. We got John Holmes, Ron Jeremy.
Right? Okay. Let's save ourselves here. Scott has a classic of all post-apocalyptic movies.
Yes. Mad Max 2, as it was called in Australia, but Road Warrior here. I don't think anybody who's listening to this cast has not seen Road Warrior.
I have not seen it.
Really?
I had seen parts of it because it came out in the 80s. And so it was like on late night. So I wanted to say thank you, Scott Baker, for making me watch this movie because I truly enjoyed it.
It's a classic post-apocalyptic movie.
It's classic. And the funny thing is, it's not a well-made movie.
No.
None of the characters are well-developed. If you don't know, if you saw Mad Max, then you know why Max is the way he is in this movie. But if you didn't see it, he's just some lone guy running around out there. There's a lot of visual, you see a lot of the actors or the crew or the stuntmen in a lot of the shots, but it was just a brilliantly made movie.
Right.
I mean, I loved it. It's got the car, excuse me, its car is now a classic. It's on display. Hang on a second.
It's the last of the V8 Interceptors.
Well, it was one of the last 2. There was the one that they took the car from Mad Max, and they took the original car from Mad Max, redid it, souped it all up to make it the apocalypse vehicle, and then they created a second one for the crash scene when they halfway through the movie. Well, they left the one at the crash scene. After they just left it. It was the middle of the desert, and eventually the car was just gone. People would come out, find it, take a piece of it as a souvenir.
Wow.
Yeah. So the only one left is the original car, and where is it? It's on display in the Cars of the Stars Motor Museum in London.
Now they have replicas.
They have replicas. Yeah. But this This was the actual car that was used in Mad Max 1 and then souped up for Mad Max 2.
Well, this
Or the
movie.
Road.
Now, this movie's insanely intense.
Yes.
Especially the last half of it. And there's an okie doke. I love the okie doke in this. It was great. You weren't expecting it.
The okie doke. Oh, yeah.
I guess we could say it because there's probably hardly, like you said, most people watching this have seen it. That it's the tanker that. Well, you go ahead, Scott.
The whole concept of the movie, for those who haven't seen it, it's post-apocalyptic nuclear war, and in the middle of Australian outback, everybody's fighting for oil. There's this oil rig that's producing oil by the good guys, and the whole set of bad guys, led by Humongous, is trying to take the oil. And Mad Max is a mercenary. He wants the oil. He agrees to get them a truck to transport the big oil tanker away in return for gasoline. He brings them the truck, tries to escape, doesn't make it. His friend now, the chopper pilot, brings him back, and then Mad Max agrees to drive the truck filled with gasoline while everybody else makes a break for it. And at the end of the movie, after this awesomely intense and not special effects, they actually filmed all of these scenes, you find out that the truck was filled with sand. While everybody was concentrating on the tractor trailer, they'd put the oil in 55-gallon drums in the bus and then taken it to the coast with them.
I mean, that's an awesome scene when it overturns.
Yes.
Climbs out, and he's like, he's been okey-doked. You know, he's like, and the surviving gang members, they get out of their vehicles and just standing there looking decimated, and they turn around their vehicles. But these guys, they want gasoline, but they're driving around like wasted gas. You know? They're like teenagers on a Saturday night on the cruise. You know, they're just we have no gas, but we're driving until we run out. You know?
Well, one interesting thing I was reading in my research, the scene at the end where they collide and the tractor trailer goes off the road, that was actually filmed. That wasn't a stunt.
Right.
The driver, the stunt driver, was not allowed to eat for 12 hours before the scene was filmed because they thought he was going to wind up in the emergency room having surgery. And yet the stunt driver still went with it.
Oh, yeah. And I think he had McDonald's after the crash. Because I belong to this Mad Max group. And they were just talking about that. They got a picture of the guy, his daughter chimed in, you know, and I think he's still alive. He chimed in too. And he's still alive. Yeah, like you said, Scott, they strapped him in. He hadn't eaten. Bam, you know, awesome. And there's a lot of people injured making this movie. A lot of people injured making the first Mad Max movie.
Right.
But
you know, something that the Road Warrior had that the first Mad Max movie didn't have is there was some comic relief. The guy that drove the helicopter thing was hilarious. He was great. Because, you know, you're just like, he's going to kill him before this is over. He's just going to hang him somewhere and kill him. But, I mean, he ends up being a really, you know, helpful character. And everything, but you would not know it the first half of the movie.
Well, you think he's just this pain in the ass idiot. And he actually, you know, when he comes in and he's throwing the snakes down on them.
I have a question.
Yes.
So the original movie was made in Australia by an Australian film company, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But the sequels were made by an American production company, right?
The sequel, I don't know about Road Warrior. It's all George Miller, right?
Miller. I think the Road Warrior was Australian.
Yeah.
Thunderdome, I think, came here.
I think Thunderdome was made by the U.S. But nobody had seen the Mad Max. That's why they named it the Road Warrior. Because they were afraid if they called it Mad Max 2, people would be like, well, I never saw Mad Max 1. Why go?
Now, I remember going to see Mad Max at the drive-in, in a double feature with some Joan Collins, racy. I don't want to say sex movie, but it was double feature on it, and it was dubbed. This is where the disservice came in, is they figured Americans couldn't understand the accents, which, we can't, but they dubbed it in English, and the voices did not go with the characters. It was horrible. It just really made the movie suck. I mean, it's a good movie. And when you see it with the Australian accents, you can understand most of it, or put subtitles on it, and you can, because Mel Gibson, he speaks fairly plain. Your Goose is kind of hard to understand, which Goose is such a cool character. I wish he would have been in the sequels, but we know what happens to him. He gets fried.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Apparently, Goose was supposed to be humongous in the second movie, in the original draft.
Wow.
In the original draft. And that explains why you see so many former cops and interceptors in Humongous's group. But people were like, well, nobody's going to know who Goose is if they didn't see the first movie, so they changed him over to Humongous. But they put the big mask on him. Goose Garden. They put the mask on him and did the makeup. So you could think, oh, maybe it is Goose.
Well, you're in the apocalypse. There's gas, or the juice, the precious juice, is hard to come by. But yet you can work out, stay trim, have some kind of diet where you're just a freaking beast,
Just walk away. Just walk away.
And okay, we're leaving out Wes. Oh my gosh, Wes, such a great bad guy,
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Thanks, Bethany. We'll talk to you soon.
All right,
Thanks,
Bethany.
Bye, Bethany.
Tell him happy birthday for us.
Yeah.
Wes, you're wearing chaps. Who wears chaps? Well, in the apocalypse.
He is.
In the desert,
was just.
yeah.
I love to see during the final battle when they're going and he's got him chained and then he lets him go and Wes is like, "Arr!"
Yeah. He's such a great character. I forgot the actor's name, but
Vernon Wells.
Vernon Wells. He fought Schwarzenegger in Commando.
Yeah.
And
yes,
he gets that pipe thrown through him. Stick. What's he say? What's he say? Oh gosh, I can't forget. One of those stupid one-liners. And steam sticks coming out of the end of the pipe.
I know. Yeah.
And obviously he's gained a little weight. Of course, everybody looks bad back then. Compared. When up next to Schwarzenegger. It's like, please don't put me next to him. Eating people will beat you up. Yeah. But I mean, Humongous looks like he came out of the gym. I mean, he's out there lifting tires, cinder ball. I love this movie. I watch it when it comes on.
Yeah.
I love it. It makes no sense, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I mean,
These
they're
are just entertainment.
Muscle cars.
And I do like the fact that not everybody is, except for Humongous, who looks like a wrestler, walking around in a jock skirt. One thing I found interesting when they were doing the costumes, they went to old clothing stores, sports stores, and they went to S&M stores to get some of the outfits.
But used S&M stores or new?
I don't know, maybe. The leather's a little frayed, but
put this on. Oh.
Yeah. But all the characters weren't, especially on the good guy side, they weren't good looking.
Right.
They were normal looking people. They weren't all these hot actors, except for the one girl that doesn't make it on the truck near the end. They're not all these really good looking actors and actresses. I thought it was a great movie. One thing I'm still trying to figure out is what's in that box. When Humongous opens it and pulls out the 357 and then starts shooting at Max. Because you got the skull and crossbow. But is that supposedly SS World War II, or is that like German hussars or British? And then you got the photograph that looks like an old British officer Is what?
We'll never know. Yeah, you're right, Scott. He's doing that CIA stare on us now. You're right. You're right. You all. That was. I like that. You open the box and you're wondering what is the tie-in.
Yeah.
They never go into detail.
You ought to ask your Mad Max group.
Yeah. Well, Mad Max was a monster hit in Australia.
Oh yeah.
It was huge movie that came out. It boosted Mel Gibson just.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, through the roof.
The stratus, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Sure did.
the Thunderdome. Here's something I don't know if you know about this Thunderdome. The story as it is was a different movie. They took this plot and they put it into the Mad Max movie, so it wasn't canon. Yeah,
The anal
sure
probing.
they do. So it's disjointed. It doesn't feel like a Mad Max movie.
No.
They try, and Bruce Spence is in it again as a different character, but a pilot.
I thought he played the
Gyro
same
captain.
character, just in a different. He's like evolved.
It could have, he could. It doesn't make it clear, but that would be good. And they use a lot, like the guy that's he's mentally impaired. I want to say in Mad Max.
How would you know?
I hope they're gentle. They use a lot of the actors from the Mad Max movies in Thunderdome.
Yeah.
And what I liked was jumping ahead to Mad Max Fury Road. You see a lot of the stuff from Thunderdome in Fury Road.
Yeah. It's I like that movie. It's great. It's a fun movie. Thunder.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. I
Hey,
like that one.
Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Jennifer.
But I wanted to see more Mad Max. I want to see more Max. Tom Hardy did a great job as Max.
Yes.
And I was very skeptical going into it with him being Max, but he did very well in it.
He did very well, but just not enough. He was more of a victim.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Which is totally out of character for that character.
Right.
Yeah.
Max is
a badass, and here he is pretty much a wuss.
Yeah.
So,
basically, yeah.
And I'm a huge Charlize Theron fan, so I'm okay on that side of it. But I'm like you. I think it was so far from his personality that you've grown to know over the series.
Furiosa is a good character. In that whole, it was a good movie. I enjoyed that movie.
Yep.
I would have to. It's ahead of Thunderdome for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a thrill ride. But when the Road Warrior came out, then there was a bunch of Italian, Spanish knockoffs. Horrible movies. Just horrible movies. And I probably went and saw every one of them.
As long as they had car chases.
Oh, they're the Russians.
Oh,
They're here.
Comrade, not now. I'm in the middle of something. We talk later.
read Dead Island, Operation Zulu.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
No.
One goes in, two go in, one comes out.
Snatch yet? Nah, we have now. Snatch.
You did.
Look, that popped up as a recommendation for me the other night, and I came so close to watching it because of you guys.
Oh,
It is a good movie. Y'all are going to be so shocked when you see it. It is a really good movie.
Watch it with subtitles, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't understand a friggin' thing, Brad.
Oh, why? Is it from
That movie.
Scotland?
That movie.
No,
and,
it's English. It's
oh.
English. It's a
Well,
Guy
they're
Ritchie
pikeys.
flick.
Yeah, they're pikeys, aren't they?
Oh.
I forgot. I haven't seen that movie in a while, but it's got a plethora of great actors in it. Guy Ritchie uses the same guys, in most of his movies. William Dafoe.
No.
Hey, he tried out for it, and if you go to YouTube, Clarence, you could find his audition. So start looking.
That's so wrong, Jennifer.
I don't know. know. You're the one that's talking about the woman in priest all in leather. So
I can appreciate good-looking women.
yeah, in leather. All right. So what would we give Road Warrior?
Out of what, 5? You do got a 5,
Yeah.
right? I'd give it a 5, definitely.
Yeah.
5 with an exclamation mark.
Yeah.
I'm going by Seafoam Destroyer. What?
I don't know what that means.
Porcelain now. I don't even. Oh, that just. There's some janitor somewhere going.
I'm thinking of
I
toilet.
hate that guy. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Maybe he's got to go. Okay.
Morgana, Hadley.
Oh, 5. That was like I said, until Mel Gibson lost his mind, that was what got me started with him. Yeah, he was awesome for so many years. But yes, that'll always be one of my favorites with him. Yeah.
Hadley, did you?
I'm going to say a 4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's room for improvement.
We have not
You know.
raised her right, Scott. We have
No,
not.
we have.
But y'all know, I mean, like, for me to give it a 5, I have to really be committed to it. So,
She's only
And
seen it.
Alexander Skarsgård has to be in it.
Yeah.
She's only seen it the one time. Maybe we should make her watch it over and over, like we all have, and she'll learn to
Yes.
appreciate it.
well, and I also think about the one with Tom Hardy. I took that whole thing y'all take as a list as it showing how hardcore those people were. They got him, and they got him in a situation he couldn't get out of without assistance.
Yeah, but
And
that's Mad Max. You don't do that to Mad Max.
I know, but I feel like it made a point.
But yes, you do that to Mad Max because he was wiped out by the Humongous crew. He was captured by Tina Turner.
So you just got old
yeah,
and tired.
that's true. Well, Tina, yeah. Well, but he was too long, I think, in Fury Road. Bound up and everything.
Well,
Too
I
long.
think he was a secondary character, and that's what I.
Oh yeah,
mean
he
by it.
was. He was.
Yeah.
It was more of Furiosa's story.
Yeah.
And this timeline has to be before Road Warrior.
That's what
Because
I
he's-
thought.
Still had his car.
Uh huh.
I never thought of
Regular
that.
kid all grown up.
Except he's older in Mad Max Fury Road than he is in the Road Warrior. So time travel.
Alternate
Yeah, that's
universe.
what it is.
Yeah.
I
that
don't know.
Yeah.
It's a better movie than you're.
These shows are getting really dark.
Jennifer comes and it just goes downhill.
Yeah.
Mike's making his appearance tonight.
Well, I'm getting a big mic soon, so we'll have to compare sizes.
The thing is, see, he doesn't work. I got to do something about that.
It's called a little blue
So,
pill.
yeah. No blue plug-in for him. That's the.
No, we're so wrong.
Jennifer's
All right.
fault.
Yep. All right. So, Road Warrior 554.
4.
554. We did not raise Hadley right, Scott.
No,
You know what? It's Rich's fault. If Rich is here, she'd probably give it a 5.
no,
No, it's not.
we've corrupted such a lovely young lady, but we still haven't given her that finesse when it comes to bad movies.
Okay.
Well, okay. Movies I would give a 5. The Thing by John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yes.
That's a 5. This isn't a 5. This isn't on that level for me.
Now, see, some people would really get upset that you didn't give it a 5. I not me, but I know people that love that movie. I mean, just love it. It's just like The Thing, people just sacrilegious
I like
to
it.
say anything bad about it.
See, I'm not a Thing fan, so I like Road Warrior better.
See? She would
But
give
she gave it a 5. You, Hadley, gave it a 4.
but she would not give the thing a 5.
Okay, all right. We'll give this one to you.
All right.
Y'all aren't going to peer pressure me.
I guess we can't. Okay. Let me go to this movie. It's a little known movie called The Bloody Heroes. I think it's got another title, Night of the Jugers or something like that. Stars Rutger Hauer, Joan Chen, Vincent D'Orfornio. Is that how you say his name?
D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio.
Thanks, God. All right, see how I put like 10 syllables in it. And you guys, D'Onofrio. Okay. Vincent D'Onofrio and Delroy Lindo is filmed in Australia, and it is an apocalyptic movie. It's after something's happened to the world, probably Mad Max timeline. This was made in 89, probably made in 88, but came out in 89, around Road Warrior time, just like a year after. It follows a group of Jugers, and they play a sport that's like football, hockey, rugby, and just violence. They use a dog skull and they move it back and forth on the playing field. And they go to these little towns, settlements, or whatever, and they play for food, sex, whatever they have. And there's a underground city that's the big league of Jugers, where you go there, you're a celebrity. It's like hitting the pros. And they're trying to work. Well, Rutger Hauer used to play in the league. He fell in love with a rich socialite, which is taboo, apparently. I guess they can, it's like gladiators, where they can have sex with them, but they can't be equals. So he gets booted out of the league by this lady's husband, boyfriend, something like that. Gets booted out of the league, and he's traveling the wasteland playing this game. Well, he goes to this town, and Joan Chen, apparently she was a Juger, and she ends up joining his group after another member gets injured so badly he can't walk, and they leave him out in the wasteland with a jug of water. I mean, that, that's his health care right there. Here you go. You're gonna die, but here's water.
Good luck.
Yeah. And so they go, and she's really good. She's fast. I forgot what they call them, but she's really fast. And D'Onofrio like covers her with a chain and smashes people's head. I mean, it's a brutal sport. And they all get injured. They all get Rutger Hauer loses an eye during this, and so he walks around the rest of the movie with an eye patch, which must have sucked, because your peripherals just. I went to work one day when I was working corrections, and I bought an eye patch, and I wore it all day long just to screw with people. And my peripherals sucked. And nobody, I think I had one or two people ask me what was wrong, but it's just weird, nobody asked me what was going on. But anyway.
Did you go back the next day and move it to the other eye?
I should have. But it sucked so much having that eye patch on. It just sucked. Well, it must have sucked for him. Anyway, they eventually end up going to this underground city, which is so deep underground they fall asleep on the elevator. And so I don't know how they can breathe down there. I mean, they show all these machines and all this grungy stuff, and they get down there, and Joan Chen, she wants to play in the big leagues, and she talks Rutger Hauer, which he kind of wants to go back anyway, into doing it. So they end up fighting their way back into the league, and it's pretty brutal. And they win, and apparently it ends just like that. They win, and that's how the movie ends. And it's an abrupt ending, I think, and they build up all this stuff, and it's just kind of a letdown. I wanted to really like this movie a lot, but it just didn't go anywhere, and it didn't make any money, and it was filmed in the desert area in Australia. The whole thing was. I don't know. What do you think? I wanted to like it, but I just wouldn't watch it again. And I love Rutger Hauer. I love all the actors in it. I thought all actors are actors I've enjoyed in other movies, especially Vincent D'Onofrio. Full Metal Jacket, Private Pile.
He will always be the bug for me.
Yes.
Yes.
What is it? Something suit? Edgar suit.
Edgar Suit, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's such a versatile actor, really. You see
He
Oh,
really is. Absolutely. But that's the first thing that pops in my head every time somebody says his name is the Bug.
And now he's in the Marvel universe as Kingpin.
Yes.
So
Oh.
yeah.
Yep.
He's in Daredevil, and there's another. He's in Hawkeye. So
Wow.
Cool.
yeah.
Well, I'm
so-
away from some Law and Order. Or was it SVU? Which one was he on?
His was Criminal
that's right.
Intent.
Criminal Intent.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure was.
So what do you think of the movie? Anybody?
Ladies
Anybody
first.
seen it?
I have
Ladies
not
first.
seen that one, but I will watch it so I can tell you whether I loved it or not.
I wasn't a fan. I was
Was
not
I,
a fan.
you weren't a fan?
You weren't a fan?
Not a fan. Sorry.
Jennifer, Hobo with a Shotgun was a better Rutger Hauer movie.
It was-
I went into this movie with such high hopes. Rutger Hauer, D'Onofrio, Joan Chen. And throughout the entire flick, it was like, okay, are you going to be Miracle on Ice or Road Warrior? It just,
Yeah,
it just,
it didn't know where it wanted to go. And there was a couple of actors from the Road Warrior movies in that flick.
oh, I didn't know that.
Rutger
Yeah.
Hauer, he was either in a really good movie or it just sucked. I mean, there's really no medium for him.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
that's a true statement.
I think he just started taking movies for the money, and being the lead actor because he's in it. He went into Tom Sizemore, Nicolas Cage
Yes.
zone before any of those guys.
Yeah.
Where he just
He did such great movies as Lady Hawk, and I can't think of the one with Stallone when he was the terrorist. And Stallone-
Nighthawks. Yeah.
Nighthawks. Great movies like that. And then this
Blade
one.
Runner. The
Yeah, Blade
Hitcher
Runner.
City.
Yep.
Oh yes, Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
No, I could not get it. Got to the point that I put it up on my screen. I made it really small, and I did other stuff. I just okay. Every once in a while, I'd look up to see what was going on because
Well,
I had to watch it.
It went nowhere. It
No.
went nowhere. And the ending was just they win, and it's like one of those 70s sitcoms or wherever they go, and it freezes. They high five each other, and it freezes. That's how it is. I was like, what the,
Yeah.
and it's just not I don't know. Yeah, and such great actors, and
Yeah.
So I would give this one a 2. I wouldn't watch it again, and I wouldn't recommend it. It looks cool. I mean, the cover of the, whenever you see the poster, whatever, it looks cool. Look like something's going to happen. And it happens. It's like
1.5.
1.5. Adley?
2. Just because I love Rutger Hauer. I'm a huge fan of his, and I watch pretty much anything with him in it. But come on, this one. This was one of those CBS late night movies that you watch when everything else has gone to station identification time.
Yeah.
That's the only reason anyone watched this movie.
That's
it's like
how I
they-
saw Helter Skelter for the first time.
Well,
Snuck up at like midnight and
Oh,
watched it
man.
on late night TV.
Yeah. That's one of the nightmares there.
Yep.
Jeez. Well, yeah, this movie, I thought it was, like I said, it was going to go somewhere. And it's like a John Carpenter movie. Such premise, and then it's like, okay, I'm done.
I made
None
my
of John
point.
Carpenter movies.
Did Alan just trash John Carpenter?
No, I love John. This is the thing, okay? And I've had people jump my butt on this and other groups, especially the Thing group. He has great ideas, just these cool ideas, and he gets to about halfway through his movie, and he's like, yeah, what? I've got an idea for another. It's like writing 5 books at one time, I mean, the Thing's great. I'm trying to. They Live is good, but you could see where he kind of okay, I'm going to kill off Roddy Piper, and that's how it's going to end. It just and Ghost. He's constantly remaking Assault on Precinct 13. He's constantly remaking the movie. Look at Ghost of Mars. Look at Prince of Darkness. A group of people hold up. Look at the Thing. Hold up, and then they got to band together to fight the greater evil.
I've never thought of that until you said it.
it's constant,
But he did do Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, that is totally a different movie for him. I mean,
Didn't he do one of the or both of the Snake Plissken movies?
Escape from New York and L.A.
Yeah. Escape from New York. That's kind of an original one too. The second one. There's no denying that. Escape from L.A. sucked. You got Peter Fonda surfing this giant wave. Bruce Campbell as this crazed plastic surgeon. People are probably going to turn us off now. Huh? I'm sorry.
We've only got 5 watching.
I mean, he's got great ideas, and he does have some good movies. Halloween, Halloween 2.
Starman.
Starman, yeah. And those are different movies. They're not like Ghost of Mars,
It's like he had a dream.
Yeah.
You know how you'll have a dream and it'll have like a really great movie segment, and then you got to write it down, and you're like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
You lose the thread.
He does. I think he loses the thread on what he's doing, and sometimes I think he runs out of money. And I mean, thank God he's in this world because he's brought us some great flicks.
Yeah.
But I just think he kind of runs out of steam. Watch a movie of his. Watch a movie of his that's not. Watch Ghost of Mars. Watch. I'm trying to think. I like vampires, but watch vampires. Just watch them and see how they play out, and then like They Live. Watch those and see how they play out. And you kind of see it,
Yeah.
But I enjoy those movies. But
I love them.
He does my genre. Like I said, I will watch them all because that's it. It's just like, y'all have heard me say this before. I don't care how bad the zombie movie is. If there is a new zombie movie coming out, I'm watching it.
Oh, A Zombie for Sale. I watched that. It's the Korean flick. It's a comedy, and it was really good, but it's in subtitles. So you got to sit down. You got to have time to watch it, which unfortunately it's in subtitles.
I saw a video of that, and it said it was as funny as Shaun of the Dead.
Well, there's some elements from Shaun of the Dead in it, and Land of the Dead. There's some elements too, but it's a fun movie. I enjoyed it. I was surprised. We're like, we watched it and we enjoyed it. So let me know what you think if you watch it. But you got to sit down and pay attention to it. It's subtitles.
Yep.
That's my rant.
Well, so let's talk about some of the fun stuff we have coming up, because I know that we're going to work with some of the authors from Horror Writers Inc.
Mm-hmm.
for doing the new Korean zombie series that we'll be doing some crossover, I think, live streaming on that.
Nice.
So Scott, you or Alan like to talk a little bit about that new show that's coming out?
Oh, let Scott, because I think Scott knows more about it.
I can't remember the name of it.
All Dead or something like that.
Yeah, it's coming out on Netflix January 28th. It is another South Korean zombie series.
All of Us Are Dead. Right.
All of Us Are Dead. Okay. And the reviews of it so far have been fantastic. And I mean, I love the South Koreans have just rocked the zombie genre lately with Train to Busan, Seoul Station, Peninsula. There's been a couple of zombie series that have been phenomenal. There's one, I wish I could remember the name of it, but it's the one that's like got the Resident Evil feel. It's the Koreans trapped in an apartment building.
Oh yeah,
and it's all types of monsters.
Yeah,
it's not just zombies, but I'm really looking forward to this one. And like Alan said, I'm going to watch that Zombies for Sale when I can actually sit down and read it.
Yeah, it's worth it. But they're nailing it. They're putting us to shame.
Oh yeah.
With their
Yeah.
zombies. I mean, they make the creepiest zombies.
Yeah. Oh,
they
and
do a lot more supernatural type stuff with their like mainstream stuff that they do.
yeah. And The Kingdom. I forgot The Kingdom. One of the best zombie series ever. If you watch, it's South Korean. Sit through to the second episode. The first episode sucks, but then by the end of the second episode, you are just hooked in.
And that's the one where William Dafoe comes in.
Yes. William Dafoe acting like Nicolas Cage.
Apparently, Cecil's on one for William Dafoe. Yeah, the Koreans are just like putting us to shame. I mean, it's the quality of their zombie movies have been great. I haven't seen one I haven't liked, but I haven't seen them all that they put out. I did like that series where they're dragging people to hell. Oh, I can't think of the name of it.
It wasn't Drag Them to Hell, was it?
No. I know what you're talking about because we talked about watching it.
It's where the demons come up or whatever they are, and they grab these people and they kill them brutally. I mean, they smash them, and then they.
If you find out the title of that series, send it to me.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up while we're on the phone. I'm not as quick as Rich, but I'm trying.
It's a strange series, but it draws you in, and it's supernatural, and I believe it's dubbed too. So
that's by the same people who did Train to Busan, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, but they're killing it, like you said. You know, they just they're on it. I'm looking at him shirtless right now.
He's talking about William Dafoe. But then we got Jennifer going down to the dark side again.
Hellbound. Is that it?
What's it called?
Hellbound?
Hellbound, yes. That's it. Hellbound. It
realize after every one of these episodes, I have like add 5 or 6 things I want.
Yeah. Don't let the beginning throw you because the demon things or whatever they are kind of look cartoonish.
They make me think of Bigfoot.
Yeah. But right. But it gets better. I mean, it gets better. The story is pretty good.
You know, sometimes you have to get past the first of something because I was the same way with Black Mirror. I did not watch anything past the first episode for like a year and a half because it was just that bad to me.
Was that the one with the pig?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So somebody finally talked to me and just watched the second one. I promise you it's better. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch it. Glad I did, but I recommend skipping the first one if you want to.
I do 3, maybe 4 episodes. If it doesn't have my interest.
Yeah.
I've done that.
But I got screwed once because I did that with Star Trek The Next Generation, and then second season was great. I did it with Deep Space Nine, and then when Voyager came out, I said, I'm going to watch this from the beginning because it'll get better.
Well, see,
it was a waste of 5 seasons.
I only started watching the second season of American Horror Story because I heard Adam Levine was going to be on it. They didn't tell me they were going to kill him off in the second damn episode.
Oh. If you want an American Horror Story that's creepy, but yet at the same time you could almost think, yeah, this is happening, is the second one that just came out with it dealt with the aliens, Roswell and Eisenhower.
Is this the new one that's on Netflix or it's
might be?
Yeah, I've got it bookmarked to go back and watch it because it looks way different than the TV series.
It's somebody's excited. It's the one with it deals with the aliens in Roswell, and oh my god, that thing is so creepy and it's so conspiratorial.
Cool.
Double feature. That's the one.
Nice and tasty. Wow.
I haven't seen American Horror Story. I need to watch that. I just
So what have you been watching, Ellen? We hadn't talked to you in 3 weeks. I know you've been busy.
Oh gosh, I watched that Gerard Butler. I know you like Gerard Butler, right? Frank Grillo movie, Cop Shop. Oh my gosh, that's a good flick.
Was it?
Yeah, it's by the guy that did the A-Team movie. If you like the A-Team movie, Rob Carnahan, I think is his name. He makes a lot of those hot action. And this one's just gritty and it's got, like I said, Frank Grillo. I love Frank Grillo. And the female, I can't remember her name, but she's a good lead in it. And that was fun. So check out Cop Shop. You want some action movie? And it's one of those that leaves you guessing who's the bad guy, you know?
Cool.
And it's got from Walking Dead, it's got the guy that played Tyrese. He's in it. I could barely recognize him, but he's in it. It's a good flick. It's got the guy from what's that cartoon where they're all in Texas and the gas. He's gas.
I know. I can see the people. Oh.
Well, one of the guys that does the voice for.
It's
the
Hank.
Conspiracy guy. Yeah, Hank.
Oh, King of the Hill.
There
King of the
go.
Hill. The guy that does the conspiracy voice, conspiracy guy voice, he's in it. He plays a killer. I don't know. You got to check out Cop Shop. That's what I.
Isn't it sad when you said conspiracy? I knew who you were talking about. The show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dale
Boo
Gribble.
was outside and he was scratching at the door, so I had to let him in.
Oh, you shouldn't have locked him out to begin with.
It was his Aunt Domino that wanted to go out.
Oh,
They all went out with her except for me.
So, how about anybody else? What have you guys been watching?
I watched. Sorry. The
I was about to say.
Hitman's Bodyguard's wife, or Bodyguard's Hitman's wife, Samuel Jackson, Ryan Reynolds, and Salma Hayek.
That's a funny movie.
That was hilarious.
The end is. I love the end.
Yes.
don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Watch it. It's awesome.
It is.
I've been watching series. I've been watching Yellow Jackets on Showtime. Dexter.
Ooh, I need to watch that. I haven't gotten it yet.
What else have I watched? Today I watched a movie called Old Henry, which is a Western.
Is that good?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
I like Westerns, so, I wouldn't give it a 5, but it was no Snatch. but it was no hobo with a shotgun. So.
That's our range. Snatch with a shotgun.
When are they going to put
Thanksgiving?
Yeah. We don't even want to mention that one.
Don't forget Thanksgiving 3. I sent you the link.
I saw Thanksgiving 3, and it is so bad. And I mean, it was horrible. Half of the cast were Muppets.
Yep. And I didn't get even to the actual start of the show before I turned it off.
The only thing that was good about it was there was no Thanksgiving 2, because Thanksgiving 2 was mind control, and it had been wiped out, and only one copy is left. So the turkey from Thanksgiving in Thanksgiving 3 travels back in time to find Thanksgiving 2.
Yeah, as Jennifer pointed out, I watched Yellowstone.
Oh,
and I've been watching 1883, which is
pretty good.
I've been watching that one.
It's really
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm surprised by Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. They're really good in that.
Yeah.
Faith Hill's from where I live.
Yep.
Oh,
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, I've been just watching any old crap. There was a Godzilla film festival. I've been watching that.
HBO Max has about 6 or 8 of those movies.
Every time I go over my nephew's house, we wind up watching the Godzilla movies.
Hey, have y'all caught that new Sandra Bullock movie?
No, is that any good?
It is fantastic. I mean,
What's the name of it?
It's really
The one where
good.
she's a prisoner?
Yes, she's in prison for murdering a cop. Unforgivable, I think's the name of it. And another really good one is Finch. And if I'd have thought of that before we started, I'd have recommended it for a post-apocalyptic. It's on Apple TV. It's Tom Hanks.
Oh,
It's
we did
him
that.
and a dog. And did you do it? Okay,
We
that
did
one
that
was
last
good.
month. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, I
yeah.
caught that probably last month. It was really good.
She's still alive. She's hanging out with William Dafoe.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
She's got some movies that look pretty good coming out.
Mm-hmm. And
Which,
you know, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say that going forward in 2022, we're going to change up our format a little, which we're going to decrease our 4 movies to 2 a week. And we're going to do more new movies with, personal picks, I guess, with them. We haven't really worked it out yet. Yeah. But Alan, Scott, and I picked out some movies that are coming out, and I think that we've got some good choices.
Well, I wanted to say before we get into that, there's a series we did watch. Now I remember it's called Joe Pickett, and it's on Spectrum, the Spectrum original. If you like Yellowstone, Longmire, it's along those lines. It's actually pretty good. It's a pretty good flick. Series.
Not along the same lines, but kind of Longmire, but John Reacher, that Reacher movie is coming, or series is coming out on Amazon.
Yeah,
that poor guy, he needs to eat a sandwich.
Is he skinny? I didn't see any.
He's a monster.
Oh, really?
Which Jack Reacher is a monster. So, he's not this little Tom Cruise. He's a huge monster, and they got an actor that I think, when you read the books, perfect. Looking forward to that.
No, I don't think we ever have.
No,
we pretty much stream.
Yeah. Of course, now made-for-TV movies are Netflix and Amazon.
Yeah.
We just got through watching, Hadley, a made-for-TV movie for our thing last Monday about
That's not the same thing, though. It's not for this.
Well, I know, but you did watch a made-for-TV one.
So Scott Baker said it was good, so I had to watch it.
Which one was that?
The Skarsgård biography.
So what was it?
Death of the Centerfold with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yep.
Fatal Vision. That's McDonald, right?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife read that book. I think she watched it. She's big. If she was a person that did podcasts, she's a big true.
I was telling Morgana that she would be here with us. She likes all the same stuff we do.
Yeah, but she won't do. I tried to get her. She's like, no.
She's got an open mic. Yeah. Anytime she wants.
She does have a big mic anytime she wants.
Make me choke on my coffee.
Oh, gracious. Mm.
But yeah, we're going to, like Hadley said, we're revamping the format to 2 movies and new movies and other things. So it'll be pretty cool. I think you all will enjoy it.
And we're also going to be doing private short reviews of new upcoming movies.
Cool.
Yeah, we're going to change things up, which I think that everybody knows that we kind of went over to Fringe, where we're doing highlight reels right now, where we just basically do highlights from our shows. But I am asking the guys, which Rich, Scott, and Alan, to do little solo movie reviews, because we all watch movies all the time, obviously, because we're who we are.
Jeez.
But
nerds.
Yeah. But we often don't get to talk about the movies that we like, that we might give a really good review for. So we want to change that up some and start doing.
I was trying to do one the other day at work, and I was like, because there was no one around, and I was sounded like Peter Pickle Pecker Pucker. I must have done about 20 takes, and none of them were good. So.
Oh, I remember you sent some of those.
Yeah, that's how it went. Like that.
Well, this weekend I'm going to do Hotel Transylvania 4.
Hey, do you know?
I think Boudreaux just took out Hadley's mic.
Transylvania 4, I was reading on that, and I watched all 3 of them because my grandson loves them, and I like them. They're fun.
They're funny.
Adam Sandler's not Dracula in this one.
No, and Kevin James is not Frankenstein.
Oh, he's not? Oh.
No.
I was
So
trying to find out.
that's going to be a really, because I've heard the Dracula and it doesn't sound like Adam Sandler.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's going to suck. But.
I was trying to find out why he's not in it, and they don't know, but they're hinting over money.
Am I back?
Yes.
Yes, you're back.
You called it, Scott. He ran through.
Yeah. Well, I heard all of a sudden this noise and then like the mic falling over.
Yeah.
So if something causes havoc, it's a pet.
Yeah.
I can hear him in the back. Ooh.
So bad.
Yeah, and we've got some good. We're working up some really good things for. I'm hopefully going to be doing more of the weird news coming up.
Good. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Scott has got some great interview lined up with one of his friends that used to work with Ed and Lorraine Warren. So we've got all kinds of great stuff coming on. And Alan and Joe Hansen are doing the lowballing with Joe, and they're getting some great guests lined up there.
Yeah, we have. I think we're going to have NC Reed next week. I think we're going to be interviewing him when Rich gets better, and we're going to do one with him and Brian Parker.
Cool.
So
awesome.
Yeah. So we're working on it. We're working on getting some guests going.
Yeah. 2022 is going to be full of some interesting stuff for sure.
Yes,
definitely.
Yep.
Definitely. Going to be fun. Got to be fun, right?
That's right.
That's right.
As long as we're stuck at home. we gotta entertain each other.
That's right. We're not at the Juger stage yet, so we're not playing with a dog skull, so we're all right.
Well, I've been working from home for years, and then all of a sudden it's like a lockdown, and my life didn't change. That's what I realized. I'm really antisocial. Yeah.
I'm right there with you, Scott. So.
Yeah. Look, I get up, go to the day job every day, and all I want to do is get back home.
Oh.
One of my friends was asking me about, why don't you ever go anywhere? It's like, where would I go? No one goes to the movies anymore. I'm too much of a germaphobe to do that.
Yeah.
Now, once the weather gets better, I'm going to start hitting there's a lot of places in New Hampshire with weird connections to it. Few in Vermont.
Isn't there like a weird triangle up there somewhere?
I don't know. I'll have to look into that.
I want to say like it's maybe New. I'll have to look, but there's somewhere up there. There's a little weird spot of weirdness for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of weird, I'm super excited about Expedition Blood.
Yes.
So that's something for y'all to be looking forward to.
The promo was awesome, Alan.
Yes.
It was great.
Thank you.
It was great.
Thanks.
And kudos to Scott for writing it, and Alan did a great job.
Yes.
And our man Logan for doing the sound.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Good job, guys.
You guys
If you have not listened to the promo, go to the Weird Realities Facebook page. You can go to my page. I think Alan has it on his, and listen to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bennington Triangle. I'll have to look at it.
It is up on our Anchor site, and it might be up on. No, I don't think it's up on YouTube, but it is on Anchor. So, which I will be posting more promo stuff on Anchor. So
cool.
We're gonna get more organized as we go forward.
Yep.
But y'all want to tell everybody what you're working on and what we can look forward to in 2022 from you?
I'll go first because I'm just sitting here. Just like I just finished a book for Silent Studios, Bennington Triangle. Bennington. Is that a closed place? Bennington something? Anyway, I just finished a book for Silent Studios. I've got to go back through it, tighten it up, and hopefully by this weekend I'll send it off to them, and hopefully within the next 2 months it'll be released. So I'm really thrilled about that. Got my eyes closed, huh? Oh, there we go. So, and just I'm not as busy as you guys that way. So, anyway, that's me.
I'm finishing up Nurse Alyssa 8. about to start the third Tatiana Paranormal book. Then I'm going to do the second Paul book, and then Alyssa, Tatiana, and Paul again.
Nice.
Morgana?
Oh, wow. Well, just working on weird stuff more than anything. Got a couple of things in the works with Hadley. And other than that, just, working home and work.
I think it's the Bridgewater Triangle, by the way.
Oh, I think you're
Bridget.
right. That sounds familiar.
Is that close to you, Scott?
I don't know. Let me look.
It
But
does sound familiar.
yeah, I've been pretty committed to watching weird stuff and just the whole weird world that we live in. So, other than that, I've got an anthology that I hope to be writing a story in coming up in April. And I still have my Kindle Vella that I'm working on a little bit. And I need to get to writing my third book, which I keep talking about, but weird stuff has taken priority. So Bridgewater Triangle
is in southeast Massachusetts.
Oh, wow.
There is a Bennington Triangle in Vermont.
Ah,
It was the Bridgewater.
Glastonbury. Okay.
okay.
Well, let me try Bennington. Let me see if that's any.
Oh, Cecil saying don't wear red if you go there.
I've heard of Bridgewater. Not in detail, but I haven't heard of anything.
Yeah, Bennington is also known for strange events, including UFO activity and Bigfoot sightings.
Oh, wow.
I wonder what the tie in between the Bigfoot and the UFOs.
Didn't you see the $6 Million Man episode?
Where isn't Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Well, Stephen Drysdale is saying that it's the Bridgewater Triangle and it's about an hour south of New Hampshire.
Oh,
Right.
That is the one I think I was thinking about.
You'll get vanquished if you wear red.
Vanished.
Vanished, vanquished,
Yeah, but just think of the video I'll come back with.
Or not.
Yeah.
Don't wear
Scott
red.
Baker found footage film.
Yeah, but you know what that would do for the popularity ratings. Just disappear for a couple of months, leave the cameras.
Scott!
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this week. Next week, we will surprise you with what movies we pick. We have not done that yet, but if you will, keep Mr. Rich Restucci in your thoughts and prayers.
Yes.
He has
Definitely.
been taken out by the COVID. And other than that, y'all just keep listening to what we're doing. Let us know what we're doing right, what we need to improve on. And until next time, stay weird.
Ciao, everyone.
See y'all. Thank you for joining us.